Hey guys, Daniel here, welcome back to the Motor Dan's Garage. Today we're going to be doing an oil and filter change on my 2001 Bmw 1150gs. Now it's a super simple job to do. First we've got to remove the bash plate to get access to the drain hole and the oil filter. Now I've just given this bike a good run, get it up to operating temperature. So we'll remove that bash plate and then we'll get going. So we've got the apprentice just watching today, so we'll see if she's much help. You can be much help? No, you're not, are you? You think. The bash plate is just 4 10mm, 2 bolts and 2 nuts. It's actually quite a sturdy bash plate on these. It's a two-piece unit, thin on the bottom, then a thicker bit on the inside. So underneath you can see the oil filter is here, and there's a 8mm bung here, 8mm Allen key bung, which is your drain for the engine. So we want to crack that, and then just remove it. And we'll let that drain for a wee while. While that's draining, I'm just going to crack the oil filter and let the oil drain out of that also. So to remove my filter, I've got a filter tool here. It's a wee bit tricky to remove these filters if you don't have a filter tool, because they are recessed in there. So I'm just going to spin that loose a bit and let it drain some oil. Right, we'll let that drain for 15-20 minutes and then come back to it. Right, so we've let that drain for a wee while. I can now fully remove the oil filter. Now I've put a new crush washer on this, as I recommend you do every single time. Now I'll put in the description of this the torque for this if you want to torque it. I'm not going to torque it, just a little nip with a 3/8 ratchet is all it needs. Don't go overboard. It is aluminium. Give this all a wipe out in here. Right, for my oil filter I do something a bit different. I use a Toyota part number here, which is a Toyota Hilux oil filter. Now from my own research, this is the same thread diameter, it's got the same oil flow and same filtration characteristics of the stock BMW one, but for me it's quite a bit cheaper. I paid about 20 New Zealand dollars for that. Use that at your own risk if you want to use that. I'm using this for convenience and cost. I would rather use this over an aftermarket one. If I didn't have access to this filter, I would have used a genuine BMW one in this. I'm not a fan of aftermarket filters, especially oil and air filters. But this Toyota one I could probably guarantee you it's better than the BMW one. But again, if you want to use it at your own risk. Now because this filter sits up the way, we can sort of pre-fill this filter first. The oil I am using is just some New Lawn at 1540 diesel oil. Just whatever's on special, just the cheapest oil you can get. 1540 is good in this bike up to around about 30 degrees Celsius outside air temperature. Anything higher than that and you want to go to a 2050. So I'm running 1540 in this currently. It is the winter and I generally only use this bike in the winter. So if I was going to use it in the summer I would switch to a 2050. Right, so with the filter pre-filled, we can now stick it back up into the bike. Pre-filling the filter basically just reduces the amount of time without oil pressure. The other reason I used a Hilux one was because I have access to the oil filter tool, which makes it a lot easier on this bike because it's recessed. BMW do sell a tool, and you can buy it aftermarket as well to fit their filters. But yeah, I had access to this, and that Hilux filter from my research is the exact same. So right, so to fill up the bike on the left hand cylinder head, there is a filler here. Now this isn't the stock one, this is a Wunderlich component, and it's an Allen key in the head. So like a 6mm Allen key. Now all my GS's have had this on there, so that's just a coincidence, I think. I think stock is just a plastic screw handle. Now the bike takes around about 3 3/4 litres, just under 4 litres of oil. Already put 250-ish in the filter. So yeah, I just run whatever oil's on special when I'm looking. That Newlon stuff was on special, $70 for 10 litres, which will do my bike and my truck. Now, the BMW doesn't have a wet clutch, so you can pretty much use any engine oil. Give the bike a wee start up. Now this is your oil pressure light here, so we just want to run it probably about 15-20 seconds, make sure that oil pressure light goes out. And there we go. And I can put on my bash plate back on. Nothing crazy. So our sight glass is just on that same left hand side. See, we're not on the sight glass currently, so I need to add some more oil. Now you can see that level there, we're about 3/4 of the way up. I would call that good. You kind of want to go between this bottom, anyway, really. In the sight glass, that's about 3/4 of the way up, which is what I would call good. Right guys, that's how to do an oil filter change on a BMW 1150 or 1100. It's the exact same. Really simple, as you can see. There's nothing really complicated about these bikes. They're really easy to work on. BMW recommends you change your oil every 10,000 Ks or 6,000 miles or 1 year, whatever comes first. I've not done many Ks in this bike. I've done about 2,000 miles on it. Probably just under that in the year that I've owned it, but it's been just over a year since I last did the oil change, so that's why I'm doing it. Right guys, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed this one, and I will catch you all next time. See ya!